Namaste, Masters. We will start in another 3 minutes. The sound is good, Master. Thank you. All right, Masters. We are going to start with the meditation session. Everybody, sit comfortably. If any of us have glasses, please, you can take them off and keep them aside and close your eyes and be seated in a very comfortable position. Let go everything. Let go of all the thinking, all the worries, everything let go and just be please seated very comfortably. Today, we are gonna go and visit the Lord in his supreme abode. So in the meditation session, we all will go and visit the Paramapadam, visit Lord Narayana and serve him in whichever way, you please. And then we are going to serve him there. Okay, so we are going to go in this path today in our meditation session. So everybody, just close your eyes and please be seated very comfortably. This session helps us in the cleaning of our aura. I do this like very regularly, to keep my aura clean and, to keep my thoughts very clear. So this helps me a lot, and I'm bringing this all to you so that, you also can practice and take the help out of this session. So just sit very comfortably and focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in and exhale and let go. Sit comfortably, and I want you to imagine the outline of your aura. You know, like when you're seated in the meditation pose, you can see your aura. So just imagine the outer line, like white, your aura lined with a white light, like how the way you're seated. And I want you to imagine the 5 elements of the nature with which our body is made of: earth, water, fire, air, and sky. So I want you to imagine the element earth in where the Muladhara chakra is, and above that in the belly button area, imagine the water, and above that, between our ribs, between the belly button and the heart, I want you to imagine the fire element. And I want you to imagine the air element in your heart. And finally, the sky element in your Agnya chakra. Imagine all these elements lined up. And imagine each and every element merging into the other. Imagine the earth element merging into the water, earth and water element merging into the fire, and the fire element merging into the air, and finally all these 4 elements merging into the sky. So all you're seeing is the aura of your soul, the outline of your soul, and all the elements in your Agnya chakra. Now, you know, our manas and our senses and the 5 elements, imagine all these 3 and our Sukshma body, you know, the aura, whatever we are seeing, they are all encapsulated into a, you know, ball kind of thing. Everything is encapsulated there. And now this soul, like soul means us, we are gonna pass through the path of light, passing various lokas, and we are gonna reach the abode of the Supreme Lord. So imagine, you know, your Sukshma Shariram, your Manas, your Indriyas, and all these 5 elements, they're all encapsulated. And now, you know, this encapsulated body is going to come out from our crown chakra, and it's going to travel through the path of light. Imagine a narrow tube of light through which we are going to travel. So we are going in the path of light. We entered the path of light. Next, we are going to enter into the loka of the day. like it's called Dina Lokam. Then we are going to enter into the Shukla Paksha Lokam. Then we are going to enter into the Uttarayanam. These are all the lokas which we will be passing. And then we are entering the Samvatsara Lokam, that is the lokam of 365 days. From there, we are going to enter the Glau Lokam. We are all going to enter these lokas and just pass through. We are not going to wait anywhere. We are just going to pass these lokas. So the Glau Lokam, then the next loka is called the Vata. We are entering the Varuna. We are entering the Chandralokam. It's called the Chandralokam. This is part of our universe. This is not the moon what we see every day. This is a different lokam which comes in the path of the Supreme Abode. Chandralokam, and then we are gonna enter into the Indralokam. Indralokam is the Swargalokam, where a soul, stays there, to enjoy all his good deeds. The Indralokam. And in this path, the final destination is the Brahmalokam. For this, you say, like we say Brahmandamu, right? So for this Brahmandamu, the final loka is the Brahmalokam. So we enter the Brahmalokam. We pay our salutations to Lord Brahma and Ma Saraswati. See them there and pay your salutations to them. And keep going on. So all these lokas, they form a Brahmandam. So we are going to pass like this many Brahmandams, and we are going to reach the Viraja Nadi. Viraja Nadi is the one which separates, the Nitya Vibhuti and the Leela Vibhuti. The Nitya Vibhuti is the place where the Lord lives, that is his abode. It's called the Vaikuntham or the Paramapadam. And other than that, below, whatever comes below the Viraja Nadi, this is all Leela Vibhuti. So here we are all influenced by Trigunas, the Rajas, the Tamas, and the Sattvam. Whereas in the Nitya Vibhuti, it is only Sattva Gunam. We see only the righteousness there. So once this soul, which is encapsulated, we enter the Viraja Nadi. So after we enter the Viraja Nadi, the touch of that river, what happens is, we come out, like, everything comes out of that encapsulation, and the 5 elements of the nature, the earth, water, fire, air, and sky. These 5 elements, they disperse, they scatter there. See them, the 5 elements from you coming out and scattering into its original positions, because we are all formed with these 5 elements. So when we enter the Viraja Nadi, these 5 elements, they go to their original positions. They get recycled again. So now it's only the soul with manas and indriyas, right? So from here, this soul enters the Nitya Vibhuti, the supreme abode. As soon as the soul enters the Nitya Vibhuti, the touch there makes this soul, gives this soul, instead of the Panchabhutalu, the soul gets the body of, there they call it as Pancha Upanishanmaya. Instead of, like when we are in this earth, on this earth, we have the Panchabhutas. But once the soul reaches the Nitya Vibhuti, the soul does not have the Panchabhutas anymore. There it is called the Pancha Upanishanmaya body the soul gets. And this Pancha Upanishanmaya body, it is very, very energetic. And the soul, once it reaches this Nitya Vibhuti, they get, whatever a soul wishes, they can do that. They get the manas sankalpam, whatever it comes in our manas, we can fulfill that wish. Because once we enter the Nitya Vibhuti, we get the Pancha Upanishanmaya body. Imagine ourselves having, 4 arms, and in the 2 arms you're going to be having the Shanku and Chakram. Once the soul reaches this Nitya Vibhuti, they have the same disposition as the Lord. However the Lord looks, even the soul also gets the same, akaram. You look similar to the Lord once you get into this Nitya Vibhuti. The only difference between us and the Lord is Shriyapatitvam. The Lord has Lakshmi Devi with him, and also the capability to do the, Jagat Karanatvam, they call it, the capability to create, sustain, and destruct, the creation. So that capability belongs only to the Lord and nobody else. So these 2 differences are there between a soul and the Lord. So once we reach there, imagine we are looking exactly like him. And then, the souls who are living in that abode, they come, welcome us. Maybe the Lord may also be there in them. We cannot recognize who is who, So they will take us. Imagine they are taking us to a beautiful lake. There is a beautiful lake in that region. It's called Airamadam. They are gonna bathe you in that lake. Once this soul, we are bathed in that lake, our heart is filled with love for the Lord. And after they bathe us, they are gonna make us sit under a tree. There is a huge tree on the banks of that river. And they're gonna make us sit comfortably there, and they're gonna dress us with all the ornaments and nice dresses. We are getting dressed up. That tree is called Tillai. The name of the tree is Tillai. Imagine ourselves getting dressed under that tree, and we are waiting for somebody very special who comes there to take us to the abode of the Lord. I know you got it right. We are waiting for Garuda. He comes with a chariot on him. See, he's coming. That's a very huge bird flying and coming, and he landed in front of us, and you can see a beautiful chariot on him. You know, it's like a beautiful seat which is nicely decorated with flowers, and you can see a chair in that palanquin, and you're gonna be seated in that chair. See, you're climbing on his wings comfortably, and you're getting seated in that beautiful chair adorned by flowers. Now you're comfortably seated. And now Garudalvar, he's gonna fly high in the air, and he's gonna take us to the abode of the Lord. We all know in the Vaikuntham, the abode of the Supreme Lord, you know, the abode has 7 prakaras. So you have to pass through each and every prakaram, you know, like an entrance, and you can reach the Lord. So Garuda is flying high in the Nitya Vibhuti, and you're seeing all around. As we mentioned earlier, Nitya Vibhuti is made of Pancha Upanishanmaya energies. So there, you know, there is no artificialness, or there is no like, you know, duplicate. What everything is pure and authentic and beautiful and energetic. You know, see those beautiful flowers which never fold. There is no night and morning, it's always light. They never fold. And see the beautiful big bumblebees gathering the nectar from those flowers. And from above, see, you know, see the rivers of honey flowing. And all the buildings or all the structures there are filled with, you know, beautiful jewels, gems and jewels. They are all natural, pure, and beautiful. See all of those buildings. And now Garudalvar, he takes us and lands in front of the supreme abode of the Lord. You know, you see a huge Dvaja Stambam there. You're gonna pay your salutations to the Dvajastambam once you get down of the Garudalvar, you know, carefully get down and then prostrate in front of the Dvajastambam and pay your salutations to the Sapta Prakaras. And now we are going to enter each one of the Prakaras, and we are going to go inside, okay? We are in the entrance of the first Prakaram. See, it's a huge hall. When those huge doors open, you're entering into a huge hall where you see your masters, you know, the acharyas, the masters whom, you know, we gained lot of knowledge from. We gained enlightenment from. You see all the gurus there, the masters there, and pay your salutations to them and keep on moving. Into the next prakaram, you're going to see, you know, all the alvars and all the devotees who are like, you know, completely immersed in the Lord. the Alvars. Pay your salutations to them and keep on moving. We know the, Supreme Lord's family. Next, we are gonna see the Vishwaksena. Pay your salutations to him. He is also, with a Shanku and a Chakram, and he has a stick in his arm holding. He is the one usually who disciplines all the souls. So he is sitting with one leg folded on top, like in his lap, and the one of the legs is down. He's seated there, and you pay your salutations to him and keep on moving. Like this, you're gonna pass the 6 prakaras. And then now we are reaching the supreme abode of the Lord, where this is where, the Lord stays with the mother and, all the other members of his family. So the door is opening. It's a huge door which is studded with, all the gems, jewels, rubies, diamonds. It's beautifully studded. And it's all beautifully decorated with the flowers. You can see those decorations. And the door is opening. And here you're going to see 1,000 pillars placed in that huge hall. There are 1,000 pillars placed there. And you're going to pass these pillars and move on forward. You're going forward and you're seeing all the souls who reached the Lord already, before us. You see them there sitting, and having a nice conversation with the Lord or singing for him, Maybe you're seeing Annamacharya there singing a beautiful song for the Lord. Listen to the song and walk through. And then we are going to see a huge seat for the Lord where he's seated on a beautiful lotus. It's a huge red lotus which is placed, on the Adisesha. You can see the Adisesha curled up. And his hoods are placed above the Lord. You can see that. And those jewels in his on top of his head, it's shining. You can see his eyes. He's so beautiful. You can see the outer white color, soft white color of his body, and you can see his eyes, and you can see the 7 hoods of the Adisesha. And below you're seeing his body, coiled as a seat. And below the Adisesha, we are seeing a huge tortoise. A huge kurmam is there underneath the Adisesha. This whole seat of the Lord is called Yogapitam. And the Lord is seated along with the mothers on that lotus. See him, onto his right side is Lakshmi Devi. She is adorned beautifully in a green color sari with a red and golden blouse and beautiful jewels on her. And look at the smile on her face. She's so happy, that her child has come into the abode of the Lord. The child of hers has, gone through so many changes on this earth. And now She has come to see her and the Lord. Look at her face. She's glowing with happiness seeing her children. And then on the left side, you see Bhudevi, Neela Devi, and Goda Devi. And and all the Lord's, weapons, they are all arranged beautifully around that yoga pitam. See them, they are all arranged there and they are there and serving the Lord. And you see, like, two of the souls, like they are standing either side of the yoga pitam and they are nicely blowing the Vinjamaram to the Lord. You can also do that. We can also do that. We can go and do the service to the Lord. So, imagine yourself reaching up to the Lord, and when the Lord is looking at you and he's so happy, look at his face. He's so happy and he's nodding, looking at you. Oh my God, you're here to see me. I'm so happy to see you. Then he's gonna take you onto his lap, pat you on your back and happily hand you over to the Mother Lakshmi. See yourself now going into the lap of the mom. She is very happy looking at you. She's patting your head. Now you can ask the Lord, tell him, Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means union with the Lord. I'm here to be, united with you. I belong to you. Tell him, I belong to you. And ask him, can I do your service? Can I get a chance to, offer my service to you? He's going to be very happy listening to that. See, look at him. He's so happy when you said you're going to offer service to him. He's so happy. And yes, he says, yes, of course, you can do service to me. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to take you over again and pass you through his left foot. We are going to enter through his left foot. See those huge feet, beautifully adorned with the anklets. You're going to enter that left foot and the soul is going to pass through him, through the legs and through the body. And you're going to pass through him and come out through the right foot. See yourself coming out to the right foot and feel those energies. You know why he does this? I know we are clean. We have entered the abode. That means we are clean. But he is going to clean us to the utmost. He's going to make us pure and clean. And he's going to give an opportunity for us to do his service. So now you come out of that right leg, right feet, and you have all the energies now. And you're so happy. And now you can offer any kind of service. You know what is the beauty when you go there? You can become anything. You can become a Tulasi Mala. If you want to be a Tulasi Mala, offer a Tulasi Mala for him. You can yourself turn into a Tulasi Mala, because you can take any sankalpam and all the sankalpas will be very pure there. You can turn yourself into any flower garland and you can adorn him. See yourself turning into a beautiful garland and you're adorning to the Lord, the Mother, and you can offer, any kind of service with joy. Imagine yourself offering these services, and we are gonna come back to this locum where we are now. We are gonna be seated like that. We are gonna offer the service to him and listen to the class. You can listen to the class, in the same state. And today we are going to talk about how, small habits which we perform every day can bring in a huge difference over the years. How the practice of small and tiny habits can bring a huge change in the coming years. Usually it's very common for us, when we want to achieve something, we start with a massive change in our habits, thinking we will get a massive benefit, pretty soon. Oh, this is going to happen very soon. And, sometimes we expect the changes to happen immediately, thinking that we bring on a massive change in our habits. Let it be like, you know, changing our diet or working out or any kind of changes we bring. Usually we see this when we want to bring a change in our diet, or when we want to lose, our body weight. We see this kind of massive changes, which we do it for like certain period of time, and then we also see that we give up after certain time, because it's very difficult for us to keep up with that habit, and we put pressure on ourselves to make, some earth shattering improvements in us, instead of focusing on small positive changes in our habits. um, For example, it may be like losing weight, or it may be, um, to practice meditation, or when we see the kids, it may be if they want to get a good score in the tests, suddenly they try to make changes. Instead, if they can practice everything slowly and continuously, they can see a gradual change, or becoming a successful entrepreneur or becoming a successful athlete. It's always advisable to bring in small, tiny changes, tiny habits, instead of bringing a massive change to our schedule. What they say is, when we see, like, when we are doing or performing these habits, when we see like minute changes, we do not like these changes. When the things move on slowly and gradually, we do not like it. Sometimes, we want everything to happen immediately, and we want a massive result. So what the research shows is that, um, instead of, going for a massive change, going slow by slow, getting like 1% change every single day, can bring in a change of 37 times in 1 year. If we get into a small habit and we start that small habit with 1% change every day, over a period of 365 days, the research shows that we get better the 37 times from where we started. So improving by 1% is not at all noticeable. But if we can practice it, it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. And this change applies to good or bad. If you get into a good habit, you are going to get better and positive 37 times over a period of 1 year. If you get into a bad habit, that 1% can lead to very, very huge negative change in us over a period of 1 year. That's what the research shows. And we all know habits are like a compound interest of self improvement. How the money is developed, like how the money grows uh, in in the compound interest. Habits also grow in the ratio of the compound interest in our self improvement. um, they seem like these habits seem to make very little difference, but sometimes it takes 5 to 10 years to become the result strikingly apparent. And this is very hard for us to appreciate in our daily life. We often dismiss small changes because they don't seem to matter very much in that moment. But if you keep on practicing them every single day, that small habit every single day, without giving up, over a period of time, we are going to see a massive change, a sudden change in yourself, in ourself, which takes us to a next level. Suddenly, you notice that you are a different person altogether with these, small, tiny habits. For example, if you save a little money today, you're not going to be a millionaire today itself when you start saving. Or if you just started working out, 3 days in a row, you're gonna not gonna lose weight, or you're not gonna, get into shape. You're gonna still be the same. But over the period of time, you're gonna see a change. For example, if you're trying to learn a new language, if you start today, you're not gonna learn everything by tomorrow or day after. It takes a certain period of time for us to learn the complete language and get, thorough in that language. So we see, these all these challenges, they need time for us to see the change. If we make few changes, but the results never seem to come quickly, so we slide back into our previous routines. Instead, if we can maintain the pace and keep doing them, it will definitely show the results in the future. This is true with the bad habits too, like eating unhealthy meal, or ignoring your family and keep on working. If you keep doing this continuously, over the period of time, you're going to see the results of these actions. Like you're keep on procrastinating the work, you're going to see the result in certain period of time. So similarly, like, repeating 1% errors day after day, by replicating poor decisions, duplicating tiny mistakes, can compound to toxic results over the period of time. Making good habits in a small proportions can make lifetime transformations. Your outcomes are the measure of your habits. Like your net worth is a measure of your financial habits. Your body weight is a measure of your eating habits. And your knowledge is a measure of your learning habits. If you want to predict where you will end up in your life, all you have to do is follow the curve of tiny gains and losses and see how your daily choices compound 10 or 20 years down the line. Habits are a double-edged sword. Bad habits can cut you down, and just as good habits can build you up. So this is about how adapting to small, tiny habits each and every day and gaining the pace can bring us or lead us into a greater transformation as a soul and lead us to a higher realms. Um, this is the knowledge we learned today. And thank you for the opportunity. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. You can raise your hand, masters, if anybody has any questions. Okay, masters, I don't see any hands raised. And we're gonna end the session, masters, today. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.